It is 10 to 8 on Tuesday, and I'm on Highway 59. I'm heading south back to the city. I picked up my for sale signs from my house that I had for sale in Ile de Chêne, and my daughter AJ is with me. She's 1 year old today, and she's in her car seat right over there. So if you hear her singing or talking, that's who she is. And this morning, I want to talk to you about something that happened in the last 2 weeks. And I've been meaning to make this video to talk about this topic because I think it's very important, especially for younger people who have children and or significant others that they care about. So the story has to do with somebody who is a friend of mine. He was in my business group, and his best friend was 37 years old. That's a year younger than myself. I'm 38, turning 39 in March. And he was recently married. He married somebody who came from Dubai, actually, a Filipino lady. And they were married for about a year. And then they decided to have a kid. And his son is 4 months old. The crazy thing is, and the reason why I'm saying was 37 is because he dropped dead from a heart attack. And I never knew this friend. This was my friend's best friend of 15 years. And I looked online at some of his photos that were posted, and he looked relatively healthy. And he had what seemed like a not very high stress job. He was in transport and dropped dead. And they didn't have insurance. He didn't have life insurance of any kind. Now, why do I know this? It's because my friend said, hey, my friend so-and-so dropped dead. Here's a GoFundMe page that I started for his widow and 4-month-old son. And it got me thinking, like, why would this person not have life insurance? Most employers give you at least a 1 year's income of life insurance for nothing or for very little. Maybe he had something like that. Unlikely, though, because that would be something that would count as life insurance, and my friend said he had none. And the problem I see in this situation is that with GoFundMe, let's talk about that for a little bit. GoFundMe, they take a commission for anything that you reach as a goal, money-wise. And if you don't reach your money goal, you don't get to keep any of the money. And that's very good for the donators, because then the donators are not giving to a cause that didn't do what they said they would do by basically making these sales. The GoFundMe goal is $150,000. Last time I checked, it was their fund has reached about $25,000. And it so happened that the week I found out, before that, I met with my life insurance person and said I want to increase my insurance a little bit. He actually contacted me first. He said, David, there's this thing we can do that'll be a bit more beneficial. You're at your 4-year mark. You're in what we call a term 10 life insurance policy. So I'm 4 years into that. And I got the policy originally because I was recently married or about to get married. And I thought, well, I don't have any children yet, but I want my spouse to be taken care of in case I die. To make a long story short, my friend, this other friend who's in the insurance, who set me up originally, he said, let's make some changes to your life insurance. I bumped up a little bit. And now I'm in the pursuit of having $1.5 million in life insurance, in term 10 insurance. I have $50,000 in critical illness, which is also known as CI insurance. Not to be confused with CI Investments, but I believe also sell insurance. And critical illness is a type of insurance that you get in the form of a lump sum tax-free money if you have something that's significant, that's a critical illness like cancer, heart attack, stroke, things like that. And it's to help alleviate the financial pressure when something like that happens. And then life insurance, it's very simple. You die, your spouse gets a tax-free check in full for the amount that you had in your policy. And for someone like me, I'm 38, I'm extremely healthy, I have no illnesses, and reasonably good family history, medical history. I pay quite a bit less than a lot of older people. And males who are in their 50s pay the most, I've been told, because that's the highest risk decade for an adult male. So I'm still relatively cheap as far as a person to get life insurance. I'm paying, I will be paying 792 a year for my 1.5 million in life insurance and $50,000 in critical illness insurance. And I'm currently in a 1.35 million term, and as I said, I'm going through the process of upping it to 1.5. It just made sense, and I already had my medical with the nurse that came by to my place. That was last week. The nurse took a blood sample and took a urine sample. The funny thing about that situation, that story, was I was working at one of my rentals. My clients or my tenants are overseas, and for a break, and so I went over to mow the lawn and fix a few things. So I told the nurse, I said, "Hey, can we change it from my place to my rental place? Can I meet you there?" And he's like, "No problem." So I went there. I started working the lawn and stuff, and I said, "Oh, I better check to see if the place is at least clean, so I can have the nurse sit down and do some work on me." I was thinking like the dining table or the kitchen. None of my keys worked. I didn't have the key with me for some reason. Actually, the reason was I switched keychains, and anyway, I didn't have an ability to get into the house. So I said, "Hey, is it okay if we just do this outside? I have a deck and it's covered." And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. My only concern is when you have to get me a urine sample." And I said, "I have a problem. I have a solution for you for this problem. I have a shed, and I can just go in the shed and pee in your cup, and we'll be good." And that's what we did. And he said this is the first time he's ever, in his whatever 30 something years of being a nurse, that he's had someone give him a urine sample by going into their yard shed. So that's what I did. And so the moral of the story here is if you're young, even relatively young, you have significant people in your life, life insurance is to protect them financially because you're gone. You're earning an income, you have children that want to go to school, etc., whatever it is. You have these goals. You want to pay off your debt, such as mortgage debt, loans if you have. All that can be lumped into your life insurance policy. And the lesson here is try your best to have a good, healthy lifestyle because the less healthy you are, the higher the premium, and also the older you are, as I mentioned before. So this friend of mine is now struggling because he feels indebted because he didn't tell. Because I asked him, I said, why didn't you inform your best friend who's younger than you? Why didn't you tell him about the importance and value of insurance? And he said, I don't know why. My friend is in the web business, and he, as I said, was at the time in our business group, and he could have told him about our insurance guy, Aaron, and Aaron could have met with him and set him up, and this wouldn't be been a problem. And now, see, now family and friends are struggling to reach this $150,000 goal for whatever reason that number is set, and they may not reach it. Wouldn't it be more noble if somebody said, "Hey, David," or "Hey, you, I'm a young guy. I can't afford the premium even. Please go to my GoFundMe page, or please donate to my life insurance policy. Paying somebody $700, even $1,000 to insure them, and you spread that out over many people, that is way more financially smart than asking somebody after you're dead, having your spouse ask for money. Because asking for cold cash, this is net tax money, net tax dollars that somebody is donating. It's the least efficient way to receive and give money. If I were a young person, like younger, and I was struggling, like I was struggling when I was younger, and let's say I was married younger, like in my 20s, and I really knew the value of insurance, and I couldn't afford, let's say for the first year, to come up with my premium, even though they let you pay monthly. Let's say for a reason you didn't have the money. Asking people in the form of gift dollars for something under $1,000, I think is respectable. You know what? I'm having my birthday. My wife is having her birthday in a couple months. Can you guys just give us cash and it'll go all towards us having life insurance? Why not? Like that is, in my opinion, something I would give to if I knew the situation, because it's something that's proactive, it's smart, it's way more financially feasible for people to give to. And again, that I don't think people are going to have to ask for money for life insurance premiums because it's so affordable. Now, I was paying monthly before I moved to annual, monthly for my 1.35 million and my 50,000 critical illness. I was paying $79 a month, which is less than my mortgages being insured through the bank through creditor insurance. Um, I was paying, actually at the time when I had creditor insurance, I was paying closer to $100 a month to insure approximately $320,000 of debt, of mortgage debt. And 4 years ago, when I switched to life insurance, I was able to get, as I said, 1.35 and 50,000 critical illness, and that's all being paid by $79 a month. It's a no-brainer. I'm not an insurance person. I'm not licensed in insurance. Don't take everything I say as gospel. I'm telling you based on the experience I've had with having life insurance. And this story has gone to help other people. My sister-in-law and her husband have two young children. He's in a more high-risk job, working with his hands and heavy equipment. And I told them about life insurance about a year ago, and they're now ready to meet with my insurance friend Aaron. And I think it's good because these stories, sure, you could say they're fear tactics or fear based, but it's the truth. Or it is the truth, not even, but it is the truth. When somebody who's young drops dead, there's no way to make that sound pretty um, or elegant. It's raw, it's dirty, it's sad, and it can happen to anybody. And I think the best thing we can do is stay healthy, eat right, exercise, reduce stress or eliminate it. I've basically eliminated stress in my life. I don't have it. I have pressure in my life for certain things, but I do not have stress in my life. Well, it comes, but I eliminate it. And I eliminate it through exercise, through spending time outside, through spending time with my family, taking breaks, eating well, drinking lots of water, all those basic common sense, sleeping well, keeping negativity out of my life. So this whole idea of wellness contributes big time into I believe, our life expectancy. And of course, there's scientific data that backs that. And life insurance is important for anybody, no matter how healthy they are or how sick they are, because you need that protection for your family in the event something happens, right? If you die early, right, unexpectedly, that leaves a financial burden on most people. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm now back in the city, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.